Hello and bienvenidos to Life's Questions and Lessons, the Self-Reflection Podcast. I am your host, Charity Youngblood, and I am so grateful that you are here with me today. Let's get started with today's question. What are the afternoon activities that are no longer serving you? What are the afternoon activities that are no longer serving you? So we are in our If You Could Design Your Life from Scratch series. And if you haven't listened to our series opener and this is your first episode, first of all, welcome. Second of all, I highly recommend that you start with the series opener just to kind of ground you in what it is that we're trying to do while we ask ourselves these questions. But we are shifting into the afternoon, really breaking down your life. You know, it's such a huge question to try to think about designing your life from scratch. But what can make it easier is to look at it in sections, right? In small sections. So this is one of the questions that's actually, it reminds me of something that happened when I was out to brunch with my mom. She wanted to order something that came with sourdough bread. And I remember she was looking at the menu and she was like, I guess I won't get the bread. And I mean, it looked like it hurt her. Like the decision physically hurt her. And I was like, Mom, if it do you like that, go ahead and get the bread. You know, like don't do that. Life is too short to be stressing yourself out over a piece of bread. And it kind of reminded me of how we are when we have ambition and we have things that we want to achieve and we know the type of person we want to be. It does require a certain level of sacrifice. I obviously know that, but the sacrifice shouldn't do you like that. I mean, that's just my opinion, right? That's how I feel about it. So if you are looking at some of the things that you do in the afternoon, whether it's a few times a week, once a week, etc., and it gives you that feeling of like, maybe ask yourself why you're doing that. You know, I sometimes think that we have so much external guidance, we really don't take the time to look within. We have all the answers within us. We have wisdom of God, wisdom of the universe, wisdom of our ancestors, whatever, you resonate with. But we know, and I really hope that as you're listening to this podcast, this episode and all the episodes over these last few years, you really understand the importance of going within. Like, is there a reason you're torturing yourself to do something you really don't want to do? And be honest. And I think a lot of times, and why I'm so passionate about this work, is when you pause and reflect on the things that you're doing and you realize, yeah, I don't really got to live like this. I don't really need to make this choice. Or the fact that you realize you have a choice. It really can change your perspective, and it can change the way you move in this world. It can change how you feel about yourself. It can change how you show up, right? In your relationship with yourself and your relationship with the people around you. So really take the time to ask this question and explore it in whatever way works best for you. And as always, ask it in curiosity, not judgment. As always, thank you so much for listening. Please rate and review this podcast wherever you are listening to my words. And if this episode was helpful for you, please share it. And until next time, take care.